Welcome to Sisters in Song. Will you take a minute to introduce yourself and tell us where you're coming to us from?
Sure. My name is Olivia Ellen Lloyd, and I'm coming to you today from my mom's house in Shepherdstown, West Virginia.
Nice.
Is that where you call home?
That's, I am sort of based between there, Nashville and New York. Definitely very transient, like most musicians. But I grew up in West Virginia, and it's still the place where I've lived the longest, so probably the closest thing to home.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
funny. So let's just get started. Tell us how you got started in a career as a musician.
Sure. So I grew up playing music my whole life. My dad was a musician, and he worked for the local health department, but he also gigged 3 or 4 nights a week at coffee shops and bars. And basically, my music career started very much in the same way. I was playing bars in New York City when I lived there full time. And I was playing these 3 hour gigs with these incredible musicians. New York has such an amazing creative community, and inspired and encouraged by a lot of the really impressive sidemen that I work with, I started performing my own music as well. And for the last 7 years, have been creating and promoting that music.
Very cool. So, as far as songwriting goes, is that something that you have kind of taught yourself, or is that something that you have taken classes for? How did you become a songwriter?
I think that from as long as I can remember, I've been writing as a way to process my feelings and understand sort of what's happening inside of me and around me. Um, that's been an ongoing thing, but I don't know that I've ever taken like a formal songwriting course, but I was a student of poetry. I have a degree in English lit. And so, yeah. And so I definitely have studied writing and writing structure quite a lot.
When you're writing songs, do you usually start with lyrics or do you start with melody or is it kind of both together?
Most of the time, it is both together, and it's like a song, a hook or a song idea or a really good line will just like get stuck in my head, and I'll have to like dedicate some time to working out what it is. Um, but sometimes, the opposite is true. Sometimes I just play a melody and the words come. Like it's sort of I've diversified my approach as I've like become more prolific of a writer.
And you recently released an album, correct?
Yeah, my
Tell us
second
about that.
record. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my second record called Do It Myself came out in March of 2025, so almost a year ago, but not quite. Um, I called it Do It Myself. There's a song called Do It Myself, but also I did everything myself. I released the whole thing on my own, and it's been cool. I started that process with no team, and by the end of it, was working with management, and I have these really wonderful folks in Nashville helping me with sync licensing and also just like with other writing opportunities. So it was a really amazing growth point. I feel like I really grew a lot during that time.
Yeah, it's a great album. What's coming next?
Yeah, I think at this point I can announce and let you guys know that I just went into the studio with my dear friends Nathan Evans Fox and Lizzie No and Nick Shoulders and a lot of other really cool people. And we'll be putting a compilation record out with Rural Progress, which is this great nonprofit. That will be coming out in the summer, and a tour will be announced to follow. And I'm also going to be headed into the studio to make my next full length this spring, I think. Yeah.
How exciting
That
is
is
Yeah.
that?
exciting. That is exciting.
It's so funny that you asked her what's coming next, because that's exactly what I was going to ask. And I want to ask about, we saw in your bio that you sing with it's a resistance choir. Tell us about that, because I think that that is very something heartwarming to us, and we would love to know more.
Yeah, I am a member of the Resistance Revival Chorus in New York City. The chorus was founded in 2016 and is a place where musicians and activists meet together and to practice joy and resistance as at protests and social demonstrations. I joined the choir about a year ago. I have had the most amazing opportunities there. It's been a really great place to focus my own activism and also get to do really cool things. Like we got to sing um, with Big Frida at Newport. And she's incredible, so talented, so generous. Um, but also, like, I've become really active in politics and social movements in New York City and feel a real sense of community there, which has um, been just so amazing and felt so it's given me some direction to like my rage and apathy and all of that in this
Yeah.
time. That's been really great.
Yeah, that would be, I would love to start something like that here. I think that
Mhm.
would be an amazing project.
We do
Especially,
encourage people to start out chapters, and there is one in Nashville. So, yeah, we do. If you check our website at Resistance Revival Chorus, there's like I think a whole page instructing like how to start your own Resistance Revival Chorus,
Hey,
like
we're
in
gonna
your
look into that.
neighborhood.
yes.
Yeah,
Thank
Very
you
cool.
for
Yeah, thank
sharing
you for
that.
sharing that. That's awesome.
yeah.
So thinking back about writing, I'm going to pedal backwards here.
Yes, okay.
When you're writing and you get writer's block, how do you get out of that?
Oh man, I'm actually coming out of a period of writer's block, and I have found that unfortunately for me, it's very difficult for me to be a focused writer when I'm really busy. And especially as I'm not like in my early 20s anymore, where you can kind of like work off of 4 hours of sleep and do
Yeah.
16 things at once, or at least you think you can.
Yeah.
Like I really need like a good night's sleep and to really like be well rested in order for like those muscles to be flexing properly. So, honestly, this is the first time in my I'm typically a person who wakes up every morning and writes 3 or 4 pages in a journal. And it's been really hard in the last 6 months because I've been really busy. And what I've learned is that if I want to get writing again, I simply must slow down. I have to.
Yeah.
And it's been a good lesson because I was like, nothing's ever going to get me to slow down. And it's like actually like needing to write and really feeling like if I don't have space to write, I'm gonna go crazy has been like a helpful motivator to like go rest and take a break.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
We are both super, super busy too, and we try to collaborate together.
Yep.
We write mostly lyrics because we're learning. I should say we write lyrics.
Yeah.
Because we're learning guitar and sort of piano, and so focusing on the lyrics has
Yeah.
been something that the last 6 months we've been
Yeah.
kind of putting onto the wayside because we're too busy and we've been kind of apathetic about it because of just everything
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on. That's a good thing. Rest and put
Yep.
your mind back into it. That's
Yep.
good.
Yep.
I love
I do too. I do too. So when you're writing your songs, do you think that you write more for yourself or for the listener?
I think when I first started writing, I was only writing for myself. And I think at the end of the day, it is like for the satisfaction of like whatever it is that I'm getting out of writing and completing a song or synthesizing an idea is like really still at the root of like the why behind my writing. But I do think in the last few years, I've become more focused about what it is I'm trying to tell people and what I'm trying to say. And that has helped focus the writing and also separate the writing. Like sometimes the writing is therapeutic and sometimes it's like um it's more about putting forward an idea that maybe makes someone feel less isolated or alone. I know like became a music fan because I felt like such specific things spoke to me in music that made me feel like I wasn't the only one feeling this way or having these thoughts. So I think it has changed, but at the end of the day, there is nothing more satisfying than finishing a song and knowing for yourself it's like a strong finish and a strong message and like helps you understand yourself a little better most of the time.
it. Okay, so how do you know when a song is truly finished?
That's a great question. I just know. And that's so funny because there'll be songs and I'll play them for people and I'm like, it's still some stuff to work out. And they'll be like, I don't know, sounds done to me. And I'm like, no, it's not. And sometimes I'll have a song that's finished and someone will be like, I feel like you could. And I'm like, nope, that's it. That's the song. I wish I could tell you like what the definitive
Yeah.
thing is.
But there's no
Um,
black and white, is there? It's
there, no, and I think it's that like it's whenever the idea is complete, right? Like I think it's words centered for me. So it's always going to be like when the poetic idea is complete. And that will be like dependent on what I'm saying and how I'm trying to say it.
okay.
Yeah.
That
No,
makes total sense.
it does. It does. But it's the feeling that
Yeah.
I don't
So-
have yet.
Well, so I think one of the things that's been really helpful for me about songwriting is that for me, songwriting is a lot about trusting my own mind and my own gut. And especially we are really trained to question everything about what we're thinking. Is it real? what are we perceiving? Are we really perceiving that? And
Mm.
songwriting is a work of, I mean, you can talk about uncertainty in songwriting, but the completion of a song is a work of certainty. And
Yeah.
so it is like sort of an intellectual exercise in trusting yourself. Been very helpful for me in a lot of ways. Yeah.
That's very good
It
point.
is.
I love it.
I love it too. So, okay, now I'm going to talk about performing and doing that thing. So I know that you've been touring for a while
Yeah.
with the album. So what do you remember your very first performance and what was that like?
I mean, my mom likes to talk about how my first performance was supposed to be in the church nativity scene, and I got kicked as a sheep, and I got kicked out because I refused to pay attention. Um, I I've definitely been performing since I was a little child and had a really penchant for drama. Um, I was in like school theater and choir. Actually, my grandmother was a music teacher and she passed away when I was quite young, but her friend really encouraged me to take classical singing lessons, and so I took them. I'm the town in West Virginia I'm from, there's a small college there, and I took voice lessons at the school since I was like 13 and did like sort of Nats and all of that thing. So um I've probably been more seriously performing longer than I've been seriously writing songs.
Cool.
So do you, when you get ready to go on stage, do you have a ritual that you do or how you prepare to go out there?
It depends. Sometimes it's more helpful for me to just not think about it as much. Obviously, unlike a lot of people in country and Americana right now, I really believe in warming up my voice and like the ritual of that and like the relaxation techniques of that and also just having a healthy voice. We all sing a lot. Yeah, we don't sing show tunes and we don't sing classical music, but still like taking good care of your instrument is important to me and sort of feels similar to as when my guys in my band are like warming up with their guitars and whatever, you know. So I definitely have a warm up routine. Honestly, one thing that I really focus on, especially if it's a gig where I'm sort of nervous, is just trying to feel present in my body and enjoy the moment because that nervousness is an anticipation, likely of something I've been daydreaming about for a really long time. And so like I've found that preparing to stay in my body and stay in the moment is actually really helpful in not feeling as nervous and instead like leaning into the delight of it, which is what the nervousness really is about. It's like we're about to
Yeah.
do this thing. Oh my God.
Yes.
And that's what the nervousness typically is an anticipation of that like delight, you know?
Yeah. So it's
Mhm.
really good reframing of the
Anxiety
yes
versus excitement.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So from Do It Myself to the next album, how would you say the music has evolved for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I am not purely just writing for myself, and I am trying to stretch my imagination as far as like compositional structure and like these are just not things I ever thought about. And now after making two records, and I always work with my very dear friend Mike Robinson has produced all my work. Mike is an incredible multi-instrumentalist and just like an all-around musical person. There's really nothing he can't do. And the first record, I just had these songs that I played with a band, and the lyrics were sort of the thing for me. And Mike really helped me think about like, well, what would it sound like if you could have it sound any way? What instruments would it be on? And I've started to compose songs with that sort of stuff in mind, like with instrumentation in mind and sort of vibe. And I'm like building reference tracks and thinking more sort of. I like that my records are very eclectic, but I am honing in on a more singular sound as time goes forward.
Love that. We're gonna do some funny now, off the cuff, rapid fire questions for
Okay,
you. Okay.
All
great.
right.
So the first one is coffee or tea?
Coffee,
Vinyl, cassette, CD, or streaming?
vinyl.
First album you ever bought?
Mm. Oh, it was yeah, I think that's right. It was Fountains of Wayne Utopia Parkway.
Very cool.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
I don't do a lot of karaoke. Fancy. I think I usually call fancy.
Excellent.
Love it. Okay, riding at night or riding in the morning?
In the morning.
do you write mostly on lyrics on paper, phone notes, or voice memos?
Paper.
What's your pre-show pump up song, if you have one?
She's in Love with the Boy, Trisha Yearwood.
Dogs, cats, fish, birds, or reptiles?
Dogs, big time.
Same, yeah, us too.
Same here, yeah. Describe your sound in 3 words.
Hillbilly city girl.
That's fantastic. Okay, what advice would you give to new musicians and or songwriters?
Don't worry so much. It's going to take forever, and sometimes it's going to feel really bad. But if you just don't worry about it, you will have a lot of fun. You
Love it.
cannot control the outcome. Might as well enjoy the process.
It's kind of true in everything that you
Yeah.
cannot control the outcome. So you just have to go with the
Yep.
flow, right? I love
Yeah.
that.
Or try
Okay.
your best.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now it's time for your shameless plug. Where can we find your socials, Patreon, Bandcamp, anything like that?
Website.
Websites, yes.
Yeah, my website is olivialoydmusic.com. My first name is actually Olivia Ellen, but I decided later in my music career to incorporate it. So olivialoydmusic.com. One day I'll buy the full domain when I have a little extra change. And then you can find me on Instagram. Everywhere else is Olivia Ellen Lloyd. Anywhere where you look for music, I will be there under that name.
Yay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Olivia. This has been
Yes.
so fun. We have enjoyed meeting you and
Yes.
hearing all your stories and what's coming up next for you. So thank you.
Thank you guys so much.